Alright, what is up YouTube? I just restarted the stream, so if you'll just bear with me here. I started the stream, another stream, and it was just not working out. I got all choked up. And Brian is in the hospital. I don't know why. I watched SV Dallas, so I see he's in the hospital. I hope he's okay. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm going to go to my channel and then this one. Yeah. So we're going to click on this one and then we want to not have this one anymore. It was all messed up. I was coughing. I was choking. And all, it was not a good scene, so we're starting over. So what is up, YouTube? I hope everyone is doing well today. My name's Cord Campbell, and this is Coding Mitta. This is the first time that you've joined the show, then welcome. What I'm doing is I'm putting together a website, which is called Mitta. It's actually a service, so it's a little bit like a SaaS service, a little bit like a URL saving service. So a little bit like Pinterest, a little bit fancier than Pinterest maybe. I said fancier, not prettier, but more powerful. So you can do some things like upload pictures of ducks, and it'll tell you ducks are in it. Now that's not a unusual thing anymore. Evidently, if you take pictures of dogs and things like that with your iPhone now, you can search for things like dogs and it will show you pictures that you've taken that have dogs in it. And that's just because the providers like Apple and Google and people like that, Microsoft, are starting, Facebook for example, are starting to use AI more and more, so machine learning libraries that know what things are. Facebook's models, for example, know who you are, so it knows to look in your photos and can figure out who you are and things like that. So I had somebody ask me, actually Rick, there's an episode if you want to watch where I talked to Rick for a bit, my buddy Rick, and he asked whether or not he could upload pictures, and for example if it would know his daughter or something. And Mitta is not necessarily designed for that. It's really designed more to record as you're showing models what photos. It's designed to record what's in those photos as you show them, or the websites that you're sending it as you show the website to the model. And in fact, with websites, we have photos on websites. So we're going to have a model, which I'm going to have to train, and we'll do that in a subsequent episode. After episode 50, we'll be working on a model, training a model that extracts images from web pages, so crops the images out of the web pages themselves. And that's traditionally done by parsing HTML. But as we all know, when you go out onto the web and you're looking at different web pages, they all kind of work kind of differently. Every web page looks a little bit differently behind the scenes. And so what I've done with Mitta is take the approach of, for example, if we'll just go over to Google News and we're going to grab some news, hopefully something positive. We don't want to see anything negative. We've already bookmarked or saved that one. So let's see. Man sues Hertz over receipt that cleared him of murder. Well, that's not. I guess that's happy news. Let's see what else we got. There's some ducks. That'd be good, actually. Good illustration here. All right, so here's a page that has ducks on it. So we're gonna click this little button here, which is Mitta screenshot, and Mitta's gonna take a screenshot of this for us, and then it's gonna upload it. And now it's uploaded it, and so we don't have the screenshotter indexing the page yet, so we can't go into the UI and look for it. But what we can do is we can go in and cheat, and we can go in and look at the database real quick. I don't know what happened to my throat all of a sudden. I guess I've talked too much today. I'm probably going hoarse. Here I am wanting to talk for another hour and a half. It's going to happen. So we're going to go into spool. And we're going to go into when it got created. And maybe that's this one right here. Nope. It's sorted the wrong way. It's this one right here. So there we go, Alameda Ducks. And so here's the spool, and it's called Wild Cyber Malkoha. I don't know how to say that last one very well. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask for this. Hopefully. No, we're not. I guess we're not. It's a little weird. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. Okay, so curl HTTP and then local host 8080 / and it's the spool, so we need to put in a U, sorry. I was thinking about Control V, and I just lost my paste. Copy, Shift Insert, and then we want the token equals, and then we need to go grab our token. And you copy that, and then I'm going to paste that in. Nope. Shift and Control Insert. Shift Insert. Nope. Okay, we didn't get it again. Copy. Shift Insert. Now there we go. All right, so here's the spool, and there's the file name. And so that's great. So now what we can do is we can actually send this file to the tagger. Now, I don't think this is probably going to work, and I'm going to explain why here real quick. So if we were to go, we're going to go look at this particular duck photo, and we're going to go look at this photo. And these are a little bit different from each other. Number one, this one's got a hash on the end of it. And then number two, it's in a separate spool. And number three, it was made from a web page. So if we send this to Google and we ask it what's in it, it may tell us there's a duck in it, but it may not. But we're going to find out. So the way we do that call is we're going to do a curl, and we're going to do a post, and it's to HTTP localhost, because we're doing it on dev, 8080 / T, and then it's the sidekick that we're talking to, and in this case it's this terrestrial kangaroo. And then it's objects, I think. What is it called? We got to go into tag. It's up here at the top. Object vision. And then token equals. And then what we've got to do is I've got the spool in my paste buffer, so I need to specify the spool. And that can be done via the nickname or the proper name of it. I say proper name. The proper name is did I just lose that whole thing? I did, didn't I? How is that possible? So I hit Control C maybe? All right. And then we're going to go to the end of this, and we're going to shift insert. So that's going to post the spool to terrestrial kangaroo's object vision. And we didn't get any objects back at all. And the reason why is because the image was too big for the model to see the image. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fix this model, this document text detection. And I say we're going to fix it. It should be working. So it, in theory, let me see here. So we're going to print the file name. We're getting the first file here. And then we're sending it to the document text detection. So here's where we're loading it. And then we're popping in full text. So I think this looks good. We're using the spool tag, and I think I flipped that around to where it's tag spool now. So we're going to do this. Oh, for Pete's sakes. I think that Sublime just likes to jack with me. All right, so, and then we added a thing called objects, and I'm not particularly happy with how this is sort of, I don't, excuse me. So we've got name, Nick. Yeah, so I've got to put all this in here. So let me copy all that. That's pretty much all the same stuff. Down to what? File names equals spool file names. So all of this, paste. That's the new code. And then we're going to say for file name in file names. Well, here we're just taking the first file, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. So for file name in file names, and then I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this and make this file names. Yep. And then we're going to indent all of this stuff. Right there. Here we're just returning the response, so I think I'm probably going to leave it like that here. But we took out the make response part of this. And the reason why is because we're not going to return the object. We'll end up returning a template that that has the number of documents that it indexed, sort of like indexing does. And this is true, the upload URL doesn't matter, but what I'm going to do here is, I think I'm just going to copy all this. That should work, actually. All right, so I'm going to fix the indent. And then let's take a look at, so am I building the return value? I am not. Yeah, there we go. And then here what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put, let's see here. We'll have to fix this foo part. We don't want to put object fields in here. We're just going to put an empty list in there. But we should have full text. Should be full text. Like that. And then we're going to add the document here. And we're adding the document from the response. So we're actually setting response and rendering the template. So it's just pulling back. It's using that template to render basically to JSON in a variable, in a string. Sort of the way to look at it. And we're just getting back that first result in the string. I'm sorry, in the response object. So what we're doing here is we're doing a JSON loads of response, pulling out the response part of the response, which maybe is a little confusing. The response ends up being formatted with the tag spool file, so it ends up looking like this basically. Looks like JSON. And then what happens is it takes that string and it loads it into JSON, so it becomes JSON. And then we strip off the response, and then we pick from inside the response. Can be multiple responses, and we take the first one because it's a single entry that we're rendering here. And I think this is the way we're going to keep doing it, but I don't know. It might change a little bit. All right, so what we got here? So we've got add document, and then we've got the number of docs indexed. I think that needs to be here. So we need, here's the for file and file name. So we need to put it right here. So we're looping through all the file names in the spool. All right, so let's see if that works. I think it's close, probably close enough. What do we call it? We have a little path here. It's document text detection. That's what it's called. So this is going to send it off to the Google Cloud model. And then it says failed to connect to localhost connection refused. And we have a problem here. So 219, I think I fixed that. Yeah, that's fixed. All right, let's run that again. Nick reference before assignment 159. It's because we copied pasted. Thought we got this. Oh, Nick's coming in from up here. This thing. Like that. There's surely another error. Local variable number docs indexed before assignment. Here. So I'm going to go back down to for file name and file names here. Like that. String object has no attribute headers. And that's true. So we're going to take that out. Just for the moment. We'll build another response that we can actually return with the counts of documents. We want to just like, for each image, we're going to index each of those images. So in theory, that should have stuck it into the index. Let's go check. Mess. There it is. I guess we were indexing it each time. That's good. So there we go. So now we want to look at the page, and we should be able to search for Airstream. Now you'll notice Airstream is not in this. So we want to search for full text Airstream. There we go. And we're getting back each of those. Was it working each time? That's kind of odd. Well, those are 3 separate documents. Oh, it's possible actually that there were... Oh, you know what? There probably are 3 documents in there. Let's go look at the... Let's go look at the spool in the data store. Because it'll have... Well, actually, we can't see the file names there. What we need to do is we need to look at the... Is it the... It's not the response of this, because we're just returning that here. And we're not actually returning a decent response. Even. So we're gonna... It's gonna loop through... Right, it's gonna loop through that. The file names, I should say. So let's go. I mean, it's good that we're able to. Let's see here. Search full text duct. Yep. So now the thing is not actually detecting objects. It's just detecting text because it's this page. But now let's actually talk about the problem that we need to solve, which is once we get this and extract all the text that's on it, which we are doing now, and we're able to search for all the text on here now, which is great. That's a pretty powerful thing to get this image back by searching for any of this text on here, and only the text that's on here, then we can get this back. So we can even say something like muscle building. Let's try that. We get all those back. So muscle building's in there. We can search for whatever's on this page, whatever we like. But the problem is that we're not able to search for like leprechaun hat or hat even. If the word hat is on here, we might be able to search for it. And the reason why is because we don't have these objects cropped out yet. And what I want to do is train a neural network model to actually crop images. Haven't been able to find one, but I think it should be possible to train one. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be possible to train a neural network model to crop. I don't know why a neural network model isn't cropping images yet, but if we were to click on this page and we were to go to inspect and then go in here, we could see that if we were to run something like Beautiful Soup, we might be able to go in here and grab that image. Maybe. And in this case, it looks pretty good. There's the image. But not on all pages, it's not possible to do that necessarily. And another problem is that it might be that even if we grab the image out of here while we're crawling it with Beautiful Soup, we may not be able to actually look at that image. The image may require, for example, that you have some sort of token to get to it or something like that. But in the case of the image that we already have an image of the image. It just happens to be part of a bigger image, which is why Google didn't find any ducks on it, because it was the model looked at the entire page all at once. It didn't actually scan the page little by little to see if there were ducks on it. So I was thinking about different techniques for doing this. As, for example, you could just start by randomly drawing a box on the screen and then see if you see something in it. And then you could tile the page with boxes. And then you could say, well, like for example, if I tiled it with small enough tiles, then maybe I might get a tile right here, and then I pass that image, the image of the tile cropped, I pass that to another model, the object detector model. Well, I might be able to find a duck at that point. But then why not just train a model that actually crops this entire image out? Then I'll have the image, and I'll have where it came from. And then if somebody searches for ducks, I can give them this picture. Even though they've already looked at this page, they can still get a picture of ducks. Here it says male and female mallard ducks with green grass and yellow oxalis flowers, Alameda. It's looking like spring in Alameda. June snapped this photo this week, and it says we have an awesome photo of kids. They're just looking for high-res photos. That's photo of a day. I guess that's nice. It's not as nice as my duck photo, I don't think. Look at my duck photo. I'm wanting to compete with June. Duck. There's my picture. And this is in Alameda as well. So this guy's got a little tuft on his head. So there's a mallard. They're just kind of posing. I said, I'm going to get close to you guys. Please pose for your photo. So this guy started pruning himself. He's got a little top knot. But the way that I'm doing this here is, instead of, like here, we can search for ducks, but I can't search objects ducks. And the reason why is because I'm not able to send this to the object. I mean, I sent it to the object imager, but it didn't see that there was a duck in there, because this is the image it's dealing with. This is this huge image. So we actually need to teach it to crop. So that's what we'll do soon. We'll get to it, but in the meantime, we need to figure out how to get Grub to do all this automatically. So now we have this thing working. We should be able to just switch over to using Grub on this thing, maybe. Now the problem is Grub goes off and it has a callback essentially. So Grub will go and index it first. Let's run Grub on a story. We'll pick another story. That's not a very happy story. That's not a happy story. Is it okay to drink between vaccine doses? The Dow Jones hits record high. I guess that's good news. So we're going to do local host 8080 here. So it'll send it over to the types it in automatically for you, so you don't have to do it. So now it's indexed, and then what it's doing now is it's querying periodically. It's polling. It's polling the server. The JavaScript is, and it's polling the server, and it's saying, "Hey, do you have an image yet?" And then at the point that it has an image, we should be able to send it to the tagger. So right there, we should be able to send it to the tagger. So that's what we need to do next. So we're going to go into, because I want to get it to where I can just run this and then I can search for it. And so then I could search for something like salesforce.com or something like that on the page, and it would just come back. So let's do that now. We're going to go into Grub here. And we've got somewhat, like here we're telling it to index it here. So let's copy this whole thing, I think, is what we want to do. And then we're going to be inside of this one. And then wherever it says if file name does not equal. Yep. This is basically saying if you get a file name, then do all this. And make it to where you can click on the image, which you can. And then clear the interval. So here's where we need to do all of this stuff. But then we need to modify it slightly. So we need to say something like T here. And then because it's Grub, we need to have it. We're sending it to the sidekick Nick, but we need to send it but the tagger. But then we need to send it to the text. What was it called? Keep forgetting. Document text detection. Like that. Let's go take a gander at the API real quick. So here, so it says /t, post. So do a post and then tell it, give it the spool. And in this case, it's this. The data response should have the spool name. Oh, there's the spool name right there. So we already have the spool name here. So we're going to say spool. And then we're going to say spool name. So that should create a string. That should like encode that to be posted to it. Data types JSON. If you get an error, report the error. Scroll. If it's done, then we can take out that part probably, because it's not returning anything right now. And then I can say site has a page. Well, so we're going to say something like this. Full text extracted and indexed. Now this will be very excited. This will be very excited. This will be very exciting. A little sleepy today. Okay, so back click. Nah, we don't need any of this. Yep. You know what we could do? So we could do a prompt text for full text, I guess. And I don't think we need to put anything else in there. Yeah, we don't need to put anything else in there. We just put that there. Then that way it gives a little hint. And then that's full text, maybe, something like that. Okay, let's look at this. So it's going to say, do a post. It's only going to get into here if it finds an image. Which we still need to fix it, because if we go back and re-index, it's still going to grab the first image. So that still needs to be worked out, which image gets forwarded to this here from Grub. It should be the latest image. And so I need some way of recording that this, the Grub server needs some way of calling back and saying, this is the latest image and you should index it. Now the problem with this is that the tagger will tag all of the images. But in the case of this first time around, it should work first time around. Subsequent tries will re-index all the images, which you don't want to do. We want to keep track of which images we've indexed and which ones we haven't. So I'll need to work on that. And that seems like work that I probably ought to do off stream, because I need to talk through this stuff sometimes on stream. So okay, let's save this one. Woman who defrauds people gets pregnant. She's probably going to go to jail. I don't know why she's having a kid, but whatever. Teach her own. All right. Cross your fingers. If it doesn't work on this one, we'll have to move on to the next URL. Not acceptable reported. Okay, well something wasn't acceptable. I bet it was this. I need to post the data. Let's see, it says data type, application JSON. I'm sure it's this. You know what we could do is just do this. I think this will work. I don't know, we need to stringify that. It doesn't need to be stringified. It's this. I'm pretty sure. Now, needs to be an array for what? With curl uploads. And that might have been the problem with it. This will work. Probably. Let's try it on this one again, see what happens. I'm interested in this. Like, exactly what was she thinking? She was worth so much money. She probably still has a lot of money. Is that the error? Error not accepted reported. So let's look at the network. I'm gonna run it again. So here's the call. It says need to provide a spool, but here's the spool. And then the response is need to provide a valid spool. And the reason that's not acceptable is because I'm not formatting it to JSON. Right back. Okie doke. So, So it definitely says here that it's not getting, let's see, in the error it says, does it say anything in here? I don't see anything in there. Okay, so it's going to tag, so it says need to provide a valid spool 406. So if not spool or net get, oh, that's a get request form get. So let's print this. Like that. And then we're not doing it there, we're doing it over here. So it indexed one document. It says none. But even though we saw in here that it is, in fact, is this it? No. Is this it? Yes. We see that our request payload contains spool. I mean, there it is right there. But is that like let's go do a jQuery post. I'll look at this for the 1000th time. So it says data. And there's the data. So it's formatting that. It looks about right. Like, that's what I've got in there, I think. and crypt.js. I mean, I don't see, this is like spool. Oh, like this? Is that what it wants? Or is it that this needs to be, it's not data, is it? Yeah, that's the problem. So it's a type post. This is technically an AJAX call. So I can never get this quite right. This thing right here, data. Data type, a plain object or string that is sent to the server with the request. Data type settings. So it's AJAX post data send form data. Well, here it's showing a post, but then so it's got, oh, okay. Can we do this? Spool name, right? Spool name? Yeah, like that. Okay, let's try that again. Well, that still works. We're not working there. Here. Nope. What is giving us that error? So spool comes back, and then we do a post, and we put, well, I don't see anything here. What does the response say? Yeah, the response is wrong. So we're not actually sending in anything this time. So that didn't work. Well, it worked the other way, somewhat, like this. But do I need to JSON stringify it? I'm not sure. Like this? I mean, that's what I tried earlier. And it didn't work. So I'm going to put this in here like this. And then this would be spool, and this would be spool name. Why is that broken? Type error, something, cancel bubble, what? What does that mean? Okay, there's nothing coming back. It doesn't like that at all. This is JSON. Oh. This error is assumed to be silly because it should be the next request, this one. You can see we have all those file names here, which is fine because we're adding the file every single time, whatever. And then we don't have anything in there for the data. It says it's a Git. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's this one is what I'm talking about here. Oh, here. Oh, so it says here spool. Okay. Well, so that's the spool. And it's been stringified, but it's not pulling it back. And we're looking at document text detection. This is document text detection, and there's spool, request form get spool, and it's still probably saying none over here, and it is none. So I have no idea why we're not getting it. I suppose that's because we should be getting, I don't know. We're passing it in with curl with a -d. So I would imagine that would work. But here we're trying to pass it in with jQuery, and it's not working. So I have no earthly idea. So it should be this. This should work. It's not a great day. Not a horrible day, but not a great day. Boop. It's this one right here. And there it is. It says spool equals spool request payload. Well, let's see what this post looks like. So this is a post, and this has form data. But this one has a request payload. So that's sort of the general problem. But here see here, we're doing a post right here. So we should put it here. We did this earlier. We did this exact same thing. That's what I thought it was. See, this thing is like encoding the whole response. It's like a big chunk. This is a ginormous JSON object, but in this thing, it's just the data. So it's returning a dictionary, and that's the thing, and then there's that thing, and then that's what we've got down here. We got this thing, and that thing, and this thing. That should work. It's just not working. I don't know. Did I try this already? I don't know. The 20th time's the charm. So there's the request payload again. I wonder if it's this. I bet you a nickel it's that. Because this is just says data type, but it doesn't have a content type. I can't believe that's the problem. I'm gonna try it though. Maybe it's because maybe I'm not supposed to be setting the content type. Maybe that's what's tripping it up. That worked. Okay, now we should be able to search for... So here, let's search for something on the page. We should only get one back. So let's look for Balwani. That guy. So search full text. Oh, there we go. Balwani. Bam! Brilliant. And it did index all of them. All of the pages. It took that long to index all of them. So it did whatever, how many times. So now let's go in here. Thank goodness. Boy, that was a rough one. Okay, so good results though, right? So let's click on this. Google starts letting apps create custom Wear OS tiles ahead of upcoming platform update. Okay, whatever. So let's see here, glanceable. That's what we're going to search for, is glanceable. So what I want to do is I'm going to type it in the front of this, because if I click on that imager up there, that still has to be sorted around. Because that's just going to take a picture and upload the picture. So then after it does that, it needs to do the other stuff. With Grub, at least we're sitting there polling it. Probably less than ideal. Like when Grub calls back, it should probably be indexed. So this page is being saved for the first time. So once it comes back and indexes, now it should. Yeah, baby. What did we say we were going to look for? I don't remember. We were going to look for. Well, let's look for asynchronous. That's a good one to look for. Full text asynchronous. Did I spell it right? So what we can do is we can throw that on there and it should work. Yeah! Yeah, because I spelled it wrong. And by the way, that's the tilde and the star are not the same, so that doesn't work. It's not going to get anything back because I spelled asynchronous wrong. But if we spell asynchronous correctly, asynchronous. I think I spelled it wrong the same way every time. Async. We could probably do something like async or star. There we go. So that works. What is this story about? Tiles are meant for glanceable information. Well, that's what we're going to search for, is glanceable. It comes back too. So now we have full text indexing. So that's great news. Now we're still not dealing with multiple. Like if we hit this again like this, then we're kind of dealing with a problem, because then, and also I would add that you have a problem here, and that if I look for the title, if I do like tiles or something like that, then you've got two results coming back. And the reason why is because this is the index version with the image, and this is the version without the image. This is the one that got run first, and then this one got run second. And this is just here so you could search for it the first time. So I need to dedupe or something here. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. It's better to have too much data than too little data. Now that's great. We still need the upload. We still need the uploader to work, so that needs to be fixed. Let's go look at the stuff to do. Uploader still not working. And then we kind of have a task of which is like duplication of URLs or documents, index documents, like that, something like that. What else? We need to fix this so that the screenshot app extension for Chrome indexes slash tags. So we gotta do that. I'm thinking that what that thing should do is probably it should probably send it to the tagger. It uploads and then it should call the tagger. So we'll get back into fixing that as well. How much time we got left? We're an hour in, so we've got a little bit of time. 30 minutes left. I don't know if this is a great stream today, but it's a weird day anyway, so whatever. It's like Friday. Been a long week. Long, strange week. Okay, well, I don't know what to work on now. So both of those things sort of work. I guess we could play around with it. Let's do that. Let's switch to Sage Shurima and do a search. So I'm just going to see if anything's in here. It doesn't have it. It has one thing, which is me searching for myself. So there you go, right there. What could be useful here is clicking on this. Like once this is not being displayed very well, but once this is like a card or something, you click on it and then it could send it off to the tagger and index it. So you would end up getting something like this page, then you can index this page. That would be kind of cool. Make that fully searchable. Okay, let's play around with this a little bit. So let's close up these tabs. And let's see how this works. Let's just use it. Okay, so we're gonna go to Reddit. I'm sick of Hacker News. Where can I go on Reddit that's equivalent to Hacker News? What to read before going through multiple view geometry and computer vision? I've decided to study the classic multiple view geometry and computer vision of Richard Hartley, but it seems too difficult for me to get into directly. Although I have a good knowledge of linear algebra, calculus, and probability theory, what would you recommend to read to prepare for MVG? Would you recommend reading an introductory book on projective geometry first? So this says, hands down the best multi-view geometry course by Professor Daniel Kremers. See his YouTube channel. This might help. So, okay. So let's save this. So we're going to do local host again on production. Once we push this, in fact, we could probably push. All right. So let's go ahead and save this. And while it's doing that. Let's go back here and look for something else. There's a bunch of questions. Oh, well, that's great. Let's see here. Do we go home page? I guess this is the home page now. I go to /r/Python or something like that. I want some articles. I want some stories. New Python tutorial on statistics. I made a text-based RPG. Short Python. I don't know. I want stories, man. Let's go /dive. Whoops. Not Slack. Here we go. Scientists unlock the mysteries of the world's oldest computer. How the world's oldest computer worked. Perfect. Okay, so local host 8080. And we're going to hit enter there. And what do we got here? Well, that one's done. And now the problem with this is if I leave this page, see if I think when Grubbox calls back, it needs to call the tagger. It needs to upload and then call the tagger. But can we expect it to do that? I don't know, it's a tough one. Because then it could trigger a tag event. You could say, you need to tag this. So that worked, but it only worked because I didn't navigate away from the page. Now I can close it. I'm gonna go back and do something else. Let's see here. My Pillow CEO is trying to launch a social media site, and it's already resulted in a legal threat. That's cute. My Pillow CEO Mike Lindell is trying to launch a social media site. It's already resulted in a legal threat. It's not to trap out. Social media network for anti-vaxxers and election truthers. Well, you know what happened to Gab, and also Parler. Both of those didn't work out very well for the users. That's for certain. So I shouldn't use social media. At least with Twitter, they have people that know what they're doing. Remember, Meta is not social media, so there's that. If somebody hacks Mitta, I want to know how. Good luck. All right. Wow, seems to be working pretty well actually. So let's look at this page. Dominion. So that's who's suing him. So it doesn't say that in the description at all. So let's search for, actually let's close this. Let's go in here. And we're gonna search for, one thing I just thought of is you should be able to have I don't know, like, if you're in separate tabs, would you want to be talking separate indexes and separate tabs? Probably. All right, and it doesn't work that way. So I'm going to make a note of that. Maybe. There's the article. That's great. Well, it's really working, I think. Now, obviously, you don't have to, like, this gives you the thumbnail, and then you just click on this. So there's the article. So it's just like Pinterest, full text search. I don't know anybody who's doing this. I don't think it's being done. UI needs some work, but that's pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. Let's go faster. So let's click on this one Go back here, we're going to click on this one. Go back here, we're going to click on this one. So forth. I always like how Slashdot has the comment and then the link is in the comment. So it kind of gives you an opportunity to read it without actually going to the article. So you can, if you click on it, it will jump right to the. All right, so let's hit a couple of these, and we'll just do a localhost 8080 / and then we're going to copy that like that. So we're going to do that and that, and let's see how fast this is. And that. That. It's kind of fun. That. Got to enter in on that one. Once upon a time I had it where it would hit enter automatically. I don't know, maybe we should do that. Okay. That one's done. That one's done. I ever broke it. It's not looking promising. I think there's an error here. It says then cancel bubble. I don't know what that means. I don't think that's still running there. That one got run. We have less than a great picture though. Reuters. Update to the Reuters beta. That's weird. We still indexed all of it though. So that one worked. That one didn't work. That one didn't work. That one didn't work. That one worked. Let's run it again and see what happens. Grub box fried. I fried the grub box. Nope, there it is. I didn't. And that worked. So I don't know why it's doing this. It's interesting. More testing is required. I don't know. That one got indexed. I didn't get anything. Again. Neither did that one. Neither did that one. Must be some sort of race condition with the grub server. That's why we're testing. That one worked. World's fastest computer. Fugaku supercomputer, the world's fastest in terms of computing speed, went into full operation Tuesday. Supercomputer named after an alternative word for Mount Fuji became partially operational in April last year to visualize how droplets that could carry the virus spread from the mouth and help explore treatments for COVID-19. Well, it seems like it's able to do one at a time or something. Like it's not working on the subsequent call. Well, that's kind of interesting. We might have to build a queue for it. See, that worked. So now we should be able to search for Fuji, Mount Fuji. Like that. It's not seeing anything. Well, we did mark it, didn't we? Or did we? Maybe we didn't. Localhost 8080. Always should be able to search for 5G. Well, that would be in the title. AT&T. Government auction. Airwaves. Search for airwaves. Yeah, that one worked. Fuji. There's Fuji. Once we index it, that's fine. Well, it's definitely having problems doing it a couple at a time, so we got to figure that out. Podcasts, add large. Okay, so now what we could do, for example, so let's try this. How much time we have on the stream left? 15 minutes, so we might end it a little bit early. I'm a little tired today. So what we want to do here is search for a facet query, and we want to do full text terms, maybe something like that. That can be called whatever we want. It doesn't matter. We're just getting terms, and then we're going to do full text here. And we're going to limit it to, let's say, 30 of these things. Then we're going to go over here to this, and we're going to take a gander at, actually I guess we'll just open a new tab. And let's look at the API call. And we want to do a search. And then we're doing a facet query, so we're going to do this call right here. Oh, and look, that says localhost. I need to go fix that. Let's fix that real quick. API here. Yeah, that needs to be fixed. I've got that in here more than a couple times. So this is meta.us. We're going to find this. Like that. Like that. All right, that should fix those. Yep. Okay. So what we're going to do here, we got done pushing. I need to push again, I guess. Excuse me, I'm yawning. Here, let's deploy again. Did I save everything? I need to save tag. Not that it matters because Solr needs to be saved. Help needs to be saved. Click here. Yes. Deploy. And yes. Okay. Now we're going to run this. So this says we're going to post. Let's see, what are we doing here? We need to look for. Oh yeah. So we're going to go back here and we're going to copy this again. All right. Shift insert. And then this is Strange Prawn, and we're talking to Sage Serama, this one right here. I'm going to copy that one. And that's Sage Serama. And then we're going to, let's see, let's look at this. So it says we need to do the token. I think that quote needs to come out of there as well. What we're doing here is doing a facet query, so that's up here, right here. We need to get rid of this, like that, okay. And then we're going to put a question mark, and we're going to put token equals, and then we're going to go look at our token. Here. Copy. Shift insert. Okay, that didn't work. We gotta get rid of that. Oh, we gotta get rid of the quote here. There we go. So looks like, and so we've got a bunch of stop words, which is sort of what we expect. So let's go ask for even more. What do we ask for? 30? Here. Here. Ask a query. So let's do 300. Okay, good. So now let's copy all these. Can we do this? Here? No, to here. Okay, and then that's control insert. And then let's go to jQuery post. I'm sorry, jQuery, JSON validator. JSON lint, I can never remember that. And then pretty soon I'll be able to start putting it in here. So post that in there and validate JSON, and then we can, what does this say? Well, that's jacked up. What happened there? It says parse error. Why is it a parse error? It's in quotes. Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's coming in from, that's a thing coming in from, that's weird. Oh, because it's got a colon there? That's a little weird. That's a count. I don't know what happened here. I don't know why all that's together. It's kind of odd. Well, anyway, these are the words coming out of the document, and then we should see the number increasing. So with the frequency increasing, we should see more common words appearing. And those are being alphabetized as well. It's interesting, business is more frequent than people. Contact, we're seeing more stop words now. Now we're pretty much 100% stop words. There's privacy. It's a big topic. These are just in the documents that we saved. So 2021 and most common word. So probably 12 documents total. It says 33 found. Total 33 documents. So, like, I don't know. Question is, how many documents do we have in here? Let's query real quick. I bet you, Nickel, we have 12. 19. Although we probably only have 13 of them indexed. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm probably hitting a limit here. This says 19. There's probably a limit in the query. Solr. Oh no, it's now in search here. Yeah, rows 20. So I think we could do like a field query or something like that to get the demand that, like, it where we say we absolutely want that text. So let's do 100 here, not 1,000. And there we go. You got more documents now. Okay, so I think that's good enough for today's total chill stream, so we're about done. Anyway, I'm Cord Campbell, this is Coding Mitta. If you like the stream, be sure and give it a like and follow, and I'll see you soon. Check out Mitta at mitta.us. Take care and have a good day. Bye.